welcome to Python Psycho. This is going to be the second lecture of Python Beginner to Intermediate series, and today we are going to know about the data types and inbuilt functions in Python. So let's open IDLE. First of all, the question comes, what are inbuilt Python functions? Functions that comes predefined in the Python. You don't need to write its code or import any model to use it. These functions are always available in Python environment and can be called directly. For example, let's have our first function, print function. So we'll write print, we'll open a bracket and write hello world and print enter. So you can see hello world is printed. You can also try print welcome to Python and quotes complete, bracket complete. So you can see the same statement is printed again. You can also print some numbers like 11, and if you press enter, 11 is printed. If you print 18, 18 is printed. So basically in print function, we provide a particular number or any word and the same statements gets printed. For example, if I print, so you can see even Python Psycho is printed. Let's move ahead and learn about variable building. So just in Max, we give particular value to a variable. In Python, we can do the same. For example, I'm creating a variable a and assigning it value as 10. And if I print a, I will get output as 10. As an another example, if we take a variable b and give it value as 12, and then we print b, so we can see 12 is our output. We can also type words, for example, and if I want to print it, I will write print c in the brackets. So you can see earth is printed. There are some set of rules before creating variables. For example, if I write 1a equals to 10, this is totally wrong because the variable shouldn't begin with any numbers. It should always begin with the letters. For example, if I write a1 equals to 10, this is totally fine. If I even write a space 1 equals to 11, this is also wrong as well. There should be no spaces involved between the variables. You can uh, place underscore between them to differentiate instead of spaces. This is also totally fine. If I print a underscore 1, so you can see 11 is printed. So remember, whenever you are creating variables, they should always begin with any letters and they should never begin with any numbers, or they should not uh, involve spaces. They should always involve underscore instead of space. So far, we were learning about print function and variable building. We were working on a shell, but now we will work on a file. So here, click on File and click on New File. And let's begin with our next topic, which is data types. So a data type in Python defines the nature of a value stored in memory, such as number, text, or collection, and determines the operation that can be applied. As a human, we classify 1, 2, 3, 4 as a numbers. We classify A, B, C, D as alphabets. In Python as well, there are different data types. So let's learn our first data type. For example, A equals to 10. So this data type is basically an integer. Any number in Python is integer. Next data type we have float. So any number which has decimal in it becomes a float. For example, 2.3 is also a float. 0.9 is also a float. If I take 11, it becomes an integer as it does not involve any decimal. Next, let's have another data type which is Boolean. So Boolean involves true or false. The F and T in Boolean values are capital. So this is Boolean value, true and false. Next data type we have is strings. So anything with quotes is known as strings. For example, I'm writing in quotes, so this becomes a string. I'm writing another one in quotes. For example, I'm taking a number, but it's in a quotes, so that's why it becomes a string. Let's have another example. This way, you can create any type of strings by giving quotes to them. So this way, the basic data types. First one was integer, where we get number. Second one was float, where we have decimal between the numbers. Third one we had, which was boolean, true and false, where the T and F are capital. And the last one we did was string. Anything in quotes is a string data type. Let's move ahead and have some bit of a new data types. The first one is list. So list is basically a collection of data types. So whichever data type we learned here, it is a collection of them. So first of all, list has square brackets. Let's begin with a square bracket. For example, I'm giving different elements and those elements are differentiated by commas. So I'm giving different elements 1, 2, 3, 4, a float value, a boolean value, and let's have some string value. List involves different data types. Quotes complete, comma. I can also write list have square bracket. All right. We can also have another example like let's do list 2 and let's write even a list can also have list inside a list. This is also known as nested list where a list is inside a list. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So let's print this list. So print list 2. Okay. Before running the file, you have to first save it. So you can save, you can also hit Control S or Command S if you are working with iOS. So let's do Control S. And here I'm creating a new folder named as Python, and all those files will be saved in this folder. Okay, so let's do data types. Okay, let's save this file as data types. All right, to run the file, we will click on Run, and here they have given a shortcut key as well. For me, it's F5. For some laptops, it's function plus F5. So here you can see the list true is printed. I can also print the above variables like E, which is true. Let's F5. And yes, here you can see true is printed. I can also print false as well by giving the variable f inside the print function. And here I can see false is printed as well. Moving on, let's have another data type, which is a tuple. Tuple basically uses round bracket. It is also a collection of data types, but it is a bit different from list. Here you can see we have used square brackets. Here we have used round brackets. Tuple also can contain different elements, different data types. It can also contain Boolean values. It can also contain string. But the difference between tuple and list is tuple is immutable. Basically, once you create a tuple, it cannot be changed. So you can say tuple can also be used for security purposes where we don't want any changes by anyone else. So let's print it. So here you can see the tuple is printed as well. Let's have our next data type, which is set. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Here also we can see it is a collection of data types, but it uses curly brackets. All right. Let's do a boolean value as well. Let's do a float value. Let's do some multiple values so you will know what happens when we give multiple values to a set. Okay, let's do false again, and let's do a string. So here I have some repetitive values as well, and I also have some numbers, some booleans, and a string. So let's print the set one. The Python is also case sensitive, so make sure you give the s if the s is small, set, the set is small in print function as well. So let's run it. So here you can see there were multiple elements in set, like 3 was repeated multiple times, but it only was printed once. Even the false element we had was twice, but you can see here it was just printed once. So basically in sets, the repetitive element are only printed once. And the another thing about sets are, you can see there is no sequence. The tuple we printed, they printed in a sequence we wrote, but in set it doesn't print in a sequence. The false here, we can see it's on the first position here. The 1 to 3 shifted as well as, and the 0.9 was after false. So it doesn't have sequence as well. No sequence. All right, let's move ahead and have a last data type, which is a dictionary. A dictionary is basically a combination or a pair of key and value. For example, I'm writing a key in quotes, then I'm giving a colon here, and let's do value. So this is a dictionary where you have a key and value pair which are separated by a colon, and it whole becomes a key value pair, and then it's separated by another key value pair which can be doing separated by a comma. Let's do a planet Earth. So this becomes another key value pair. Let's have some another key value pair. Like, so this becomes a key value pair again. Let's separate it with commas. Let's do fruits, apple. So here we are differentiating the key value pair by comma, and the key and value is differentiated by colon. Right, let's close the bracket and let's print dictionary. So here you can see, we can see the key value planet Earth, city Bombay, fruit apple. We can also print the type of this following variables. For example, here I am typing, I want to know the type of this variable which is h. So let's here print h. So here I have wrote print in bracket, I have wrote type function, and in type function I have wrote h, and I will also print h as well. So let's print. So here I can see the type of h which is string, and I can also see the element which is 11. Here the 11 is string because we have given quotes. If the number was directly written, for example, let's do this number a, this variable a, and let's print it as well. So you can see it is integer as it does not involve any string. So any word, letter, anything with quotes becomes a data type string. That's enough for today. Let's In next lecture we will learn about the operators in Python. Thank you.